are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. So just before we begin, since this is our first session, I just want to kind of explain to you that everything that we discuss today and furthermore in our future sessions will be confidential. It will stay between us unless you are presenting a danger to yourself or a danger to others. So with that being said, what brings you in today?
I am in today because I've been feeling very anxious
Okay.
at this stage of my life.
Okay. Is there something in particular that has maybe triggered this anxiety or has heightened it recently?
Sure. So I left my old job, and I'm looking for a new job, and
Okay.
that's really where most of my stress is. I'm trying to find something I enjoy doing, a little bit different, but
Okay.
worried about finding that and making that happen.
Right. Totally understandable. So what kind of job did you have that you left?
I graduated about a year ago from college.
Okay.
And I got a job in healthcare management, which was more like an office job.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really like it for so many reasons. And I quit because it was bad for my mental health.
Understandable.
And I want to work with people, so I know where I want to go. But I'm just stressed about
Kind of finding
navigating
where your next step is.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, you said you want to work with people. I'm also very proud of you for stepping away from the job that you recognize that wasn't for you. That can be a little hard, especially since, you worked hard to get that degree and it may have aligned with, your area of expertise and it didn't work out, and that happens sometimes. So I'm glad you were able to recognize that and are moving and taking the next steps into getting somewhere that is a better fit for you. How do the other people in your family view this concern? Like your parents, did they have a lot of expectations for you to go to college and get a stable job and kind of keep that job for a long time? What were their views on?
Yeah, they definitely wanted me to stay in a job for a while before I left, and they're not really thrilled about the direction I want to go in because they're very stressed about how much money I will make. So it's definitely some pressures there adding to it.
So if you don't mind me asking, before I even ask, I just want to reiterate that people have different ways of understanding their concerns. So in order to understand how you're viewing your concerns, how other people are viewing your concerns, because kind of diving deeper into that, I'm going to ask you some questions regarding that. So to start, how do you identify yourself in terms of ethnicity, background, nationality,
Sure, I would say I would identify just as a white suburban Pennsylvanian.
Okay. I've noticed that there is a trend within most of my white clients that their parents have been really hard on them about going to college and, worried them about them making more money. Some parents in a white culture kind of see themselves wanting better for their kids. If say they didn't have the opportunity to go to college, they maybe want they maybe put that pressure on their child to, go to college, make the money, do better than they have done per se. How do you think, being white, a white American has influenced your concerns with anxiety regarding your future endeavors after leaving the job?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of truth in what you said, that there's this pressure to go to this college and, kind of make more money, and that's the path of success. So it is a little weird to break from that when that's kind of what is the norm in my community or upbringing, I guess. Yeah, I would say that definitely is adding to it.
Very, very fair. Have you express any future plans after leaving the job to your parents?
I have, yeah, and they're more on board than they were. So I want to go become an EMT. So
okay, so you have a set plan, which is good.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I start school for that, so everything's lined up. It's just stressful to execute all of it.
What was their initial reaction to you leaving your job?
They were supportive, but they thought that I would stay, I think, in an office type setting and kind of continue to climb the corporate ladder, and it was just, So I think once the realization that wouldn't happen kind of hit, it definitely was different.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that they're contributing to your anxious thoughts about finding a new career path, or do you think they're
Oh,
pretty
definitely.
supportive?
They're the people in the back of my head that I'm like, oh, maybe this is a mistake. We can't do that. But they are very supportive. It's just I only really hear the negative, and that's kind of what I resonate with.
Right.
So I want to give them credit, but
yeah, I think that comes with being the child is
Mhm.
that you always kind of want to do good in your parents' eyes. Like they're always kind of having that expectation of you to do your best. And I think when we're younger, like they kind of instill like this, like like the devil and angel on your shoulder type thing. Like you want to do what you want to do, which is gonna be like the angel side, like the devil, not the devil per se, but like the other side being like, oh, this is what you actually should be doing.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. So, like, what are like their views on like anxiety and mental health?
I would say mental health runs in our family, but I don't think they really like care much about anxiety.
Okay. Now, if you don't mind me asking, like, what is like is there like a religious background in your family?
Oh, there is. My mom is very Catholic.
Okay.
Very, very Catholic.
Is your dad Catholic as well?
He is not. He's atheist.
Oh, okay. So do you see more concern for mental health from your dad more so than your mom?
I would say yes.
Okay. Like if you have ever brought up mental health issues to your mom who has a more Catholic background, like what is typically her response?
There's a lot of maybe I should pray or get reacquainted with Jesus, and that usually solves all the issues.
Okay, so I'm assuming since your mom is Catholic, you were brought up very Catholic as well. Like what are your religious views at the moment or growing up to right now?
Well, as a child, definitely Catholic. As the moment, I'd say like agnostic, like spiritual but not Catholic.
Right. That was growing up. That's not like was that growing up or was that now?
That's now. Growing up was very Catholic.
Okay,
Jesus
I
was
see.
king.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So, do you think, growing up Catholic and like having your mom and like maybe like other people in like the church like telling you that you should pray away like your anxieties or these other feelings of like mental health, like do you think that has caused you to think that you shouldn't be serious about like working through your anxiety and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely.
How do they feel about, or how does your mom feel about you kind of like straying away from Catholicism a little bit?
She does not take it well. There's a lot of guilt tripping there. Like, you're gonna go to hell because you don't know Jesus. Right. Does that bother you? I'm like, oh wow, I don't believe in it, any of it.
Right, and that's totally your prerogative. Like when we're growing up, we really can't choose like how we're brought up. It's just the way that our parents raised us. But as we get older, like you said, you just graduated college, so I'm assuming you're in your early 20s, like you're in a stage of life where you're just trying to figure out who you are. And with that, like we can stray away from our religion, and just even the whole period in general can be very anxious, like you had expressed you're anxious with the transitions, but I feel like there's also could be an anxiety created with wanting to, branch out and do your own thing, but it can be a hard conversation to have with your parents who have, had these expectations of you to, follow through with the Catholic religion, follow through with the set plans that they had in their mind for you as like a kid. 'Cause I'm sure, like you said, like had these expectations of you wanting to go to college. So I'm sure that, they wanted you to stay with the religion. And since, you went to college, which is, good in their eyes, but you didn't stay with like your job and you're kind of just doing your own thing now. But you are working through that, so they should be proud of that, I think, at least. What was I gonna say? So you went to college, and that was good in their eyes, but you didn't stay with the job, so I'm sure they're on you about, finding another one. What are your next steps? What have you done since leaving your job?
Oh, so I went to Spain.
Okay.
And I walked 550 miles for about 6
Wow.
weeks. So really good, like, find myself,
Yes,
mental health
that's
journey, get out of your
awesome.
comfort zone, see some stuff. So I haven't just been sitting.
Right,
So
no.
it's been good.
That's very good. That's very inspiring. I'm very proud of you for taking on that challenge and making it through. That's incredible. What were your parents' reactions to that?
They were not very thrilled, and then once I went, they were like, "Oh, he's there," and
Right,
then they liked it.
I'm sure, like, when you said, like, "Oh, I'm gonna be walking across Spain," they were like, "Well, shouldn't you be looking for a new job? Like, how are you gonna afford it? Where's the money coming from? Like, do you have money saved? Like, what about your payments for other things and stuff?" So I definitely can see them being, you know, not for it at first, but I'm sure you showed them pictures. I'm sure you told them about your experiences, and like you went across the world and experienced different cultures. You had time to like think about what your future endeavors are going to hold. So I'm sure I can see them being really proud of you and just being excited the fact that you did that, because that's not an easy thing to do, walking 550 miles. Yeah. So we are unfortunately out of time, so we can continue this conversation in about 2 weeks. Sound good?
Perfect.
All
You're
right,
such a
thank
great
you so
therapist, such a good counselor. I feel so seen and heard.
Good, I'm glad.